Good morning, traders. It is Monday, August the 6th. We're going to see the Canadian exchanges close today because it's a Canadian holiday. So I'm going to do a morning video and then I will be out to spend some time with my kids. I'll be back and forth. They got a couple nap times in there, so I will be back on the computer to update and see how things are unfolding. But overall, this morning we're not really seeing much of a picture change from Friday. We had a pretty strong close on Friday with the kind of barn burner numbers for the job uh, unemployment number, and that really sent the market rocketing higher. Overall, the market in general got pushed into a very overbought situation again and is trading up at resistance. And I'm just going to run through the charts and we'll see how they're sitting for the day. Now overall, here's the US dollar index. You can see we've been flagging a little bit lower. Last week we had some pretty good news. We saw the US dollar jump up and we had some more news, saw it go back down. Really volatile. Everything's kind of been chopping around. If we just zoom out a little bit, you can see where we're trading. We are trading along. We do have a pretty key support zone here from way back several months. We've got key support there. We also have key support right through the middle of this noise right across here, which is where we've been kind of flirting with the past couple trading sessions. You can see we've hit it a couple times, had a strong bounce, and again we're trading right back down at that level. We have had a nice push up, so we could see this possible A, B, C retracement back down. Eventually we will see it probably come down, dip into the support level, but overall I think the US dollar still looks fairly strong, although it's starting to look a little toppy. It all depends on how it plays out going forward here, because depending on the pattern, we could be seeing a possible head and shoulders pattern forming here. And if this price action going forward starts to become more of a bearish pattern and just kind of drifts up with kind of like a little bit of a slow, not a very steep angle here, we'll probably eventually see it break some type of shoulder neckline here, and we'll see probably it continue to head down. But overall, if we just jump to the weekly chart and we just zoom in a little bit, you can see in the big range we are trading, and we're still trading above key support. And if we just draw a simple trend line, we still have lots of time for the US dollar to consolidate before it works its way into a moving average, or sorry, a support trend line, and from there it could continue its move higher, or it could continue from here. So overall, the weekly chart is still very strong, but we could see a couple weeks of choppiness, and before it really starts to break down before anywhere else. Now again, if we do get a little bit of a right shoulder here, we could have a little bit of a neckline, and we could actually see prices fall down. The first support would be down to the support trend line, which will be in this previous top here, which will act as support also. If it breaks that level, we could see a very sharp decline right down into this level, possibly see it bounce and see it actually continue to head lower. So that's kind of where we stand in the grand scheme of things. Overall, US dollar is still bullish, but on the shorter term time frame, it's a little bit toppy and looks like it needs more consolidation time. Looking at crude oil this morning, Friday we had a strong push up. Obviously, more jobs means more fuel is going to be needed. We saw a big jump in the crude oil. We also saw a dive in the US dollar index, so that really helped double boost crude oil. We've had a nice surge up, a little tight bull flag. We are trading up a little bit of a resistance zone here. Obviously, this pattern is still bullish on the short-term chart here. I expect it to continue to squeeze higher. Now, if we just zoom back a little bit, you can see the last time we had a strong move like this, you get a push up, little bull flag, and then you get another push up, and then usually it'll probably try and top out, and you get three surges more or less to a high. You'll see a bit of a consolidation. So looking forward here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see crude oil push up, possibly squeeze just to a new high, just pierce it, see it possibly pull back, push up to one more new high, and then maybe see it consolidate for a bit after that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in crude oil. Looking at natural gas, it's continued to pull back. It's down another 2.5% this morning. It's coming right down into the middle of this previous consolidation, this line I drew last week. That is going to be a little bit of a support. We have a gap down this morning. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a bounce, but overall it is starting to look as though it's trying to find a bottom. If we go to the daily chart, You can see how it's had a big move, and now we're starting to get some smaller candles. We'll see how today plays out. It could continue to squeeze down a little bit lower. I pointed this out on Friday that usually when you get a substantial pullback, usually the first key obvious stop level, which will be this last consolidation, usually that will get run. And if you look here, this would be the first key consolidation level from the last run, and you see it come down, have a little bit of a bounce, and then it comes down and breaks this level here, and from there you get a big move. So we could see the same thing start to unfold here. We grind lower, have a little bit of a bounce, break that level, and then we see it continue to move up. And again, that would hopefully fall in line with a support trend line along here, and of course that would wash the market out, breaking those levels just like it did back here. Looking at gold, precious metal charts had a nice pop on Friday with that news. We saw gold come up. It's been kind of just running its way higher a little bit over the weekend and this morning. Overall, has yet to clear that overhead resistance red line. Every time it's got there, it has sold down. It just had a nice little 5-wave correction back down. Now it's starting to put a bounce in. The grand scheme of things, gold is still in a downtrend. The momentum is starting to really slow down though. If we just zoom out, let the chart load here, you can see that gold is starting to really lose momentum. It does have a little bit of a bearish pattern. Just this strong move down and this little bit of consolidation stuck under resistance. We could still see it squeeze lower, but overall the momentum recently, you can see it's starting to come down, and it looks as though it may be trying to turn up here. And this is the key line in the sand, is this resistance level. If it can break through that, and then really first pause, it'll probably be an opportunity to get in and see it start to really move higher. But overall, it is still trading down. Hasn't broken previous highs. It hasn't broken a key basing pattern resistance level yet, so it's still struggling there. Looking at silver, pretty much the same pattern as gold, a little more volatile in the waves down, had a little bit of a pop, trading a little bit higher this morning. In the grand scheme of things, it is still trading in a downtrend, yet to break a real previous pivot high that really can possibly reverse this trend. But it is starting to stall out and getting form more of a base here, but again, it's still in a downtrend at this time. Looking at gold miners, here's the gold miners chart. Trading more or less came up at resistance earlier last week and started to sell off. It's got a little bit of a bear flag, it looks like to me. We got a move down, and it's kind of forming this little bit of a bear flag. Wouldn't be surprised if it comes down and tests the double bottom here. Looking at bonds, we are seeing a bit of money move into bonds this morning. They were up about 1/3%. And overall this pattern I pointed out has been kind of mixed. It's been more bearish than anything. It had a nice bearish pattern there. Moved down, a little bit of a pause, and it started to break down there on Friday. This pattern here, this last little move here, is a bear flag, a strong flag pulled down, a little bit of a flag back up. Wouldn't be surprised if we see one more push down, and then that would probably be a pretty good measured move for overall this bear flag pattern, and then we could probably see bonds start to head back up. Looking at the SP 500 ETF, this is the daily chart. You can see where we're trading. We're trading up near resistance. Just pierced these previous highs on Friday. We had a lot of stops and shorts get run in the market. It was a Friday, and eventually just continued to drift up into the close. Had a pretty strong session there. Overall, we got the market really kind of still back into a toppy situation. Everything was starting to roll over very nicely. Obviously, a extremely good jobs unemployment number really sent the market much higher in pre-market, and again it was an unwinding of short positions and a bunch of traders obviously getting long that continued to grind the prices up and push into new highs. Overall, the market on a short-term basis is overbought. It could squeeze up a little bit higher, but I do feel as though we're going to get another pullback now that the economic news there is probably going to start to wither away over the next week here with those numbers, once people dig in and realize it wasn't that good. It was a good jobs number, looked good, but overall it wasn't the greatest thing. But again, we are in election year, and a lot can happen with the market just kind of moving up as really the big guys don't want the market to pull back the last couple months of their election. Looking at futures, here's the futures chart. It's going back about 10 trading sessions. I'll just zoom in a little bit. You can see we had a nice pullback started. Eventually had the jobless numbers come out. Saw a big rally up on Friday. It's been flagging ever since. It's trying to squeeze up, make a new high this morning. We are trading up about 1/4%, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it continue to squeeze higher over the next session or two as there's an unwinding of short positions, and then eventually I think we'll see a little momentum stall out, and we will probably see a pullback in the market. But overall, we're resetting our plan on being bearish, and we'll just see how things kind of unfold in the next day here, and we may take another stab at a short play because the market is stretched right up into multiple resistance levels and overbought. But overall, we can't fight the trend. If this really strong move here can actually hold up, then we'd be actually looking to buy the dips. But overall, I do feel as though we're going to get a pullback that is going to be playable, and then from there we may be looking for a long position. Anyways, that's it for this morning, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye.